Hey everybody, what's up? My name's Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And you know when you're sitting in game night and everyone's there except that one person and you're waiting like 25 minutes for them to get there? Now is the time to pull out The Feds by Steve Finn.
Yes, so The Feds is going to be launching on Kickstarter by Dr. Finn's Games, and it is this game where you are going to be trying to capture all the criminals with your FBI agents and be the first person to do it. So, if that sounds like a game you want to play, then just keep watching.
In The Feds, we're going to play 7 quick rounds where we are going to deploy a federal agent to one of 4 locations in a city. Now we're going to play with a different city each game, which will change some of these special actions that are on these cards. But the goal of the game is to have area majority, having the most influence among your agents in each of those locations, where you'll get first dibs on busting these criminals. The criminals are these very brightly colored meeples. We have orange and pink and very devious pink meeples. But basically, the first player who has the most influence there will get to take all the meeples of a single color. And then it will go to the next player and then the next player. And that will actually cycle back to the first player until all the different colored meeples are taken from that location. The way we play these rounds is we have 7 cards, we'll pick one of them, and simultaneously we will place it face down on one of those 4 locations. Now starting with the first player, we're going to deploy federal agents to that location that we committed to. Now, the interesting part of this game, and probably its biggest twist, is that when you deploy an agent, it's deployed face down as the mole at that location. So you don't actually know what that card is going to be when it comes out, or if it will have an action on it that will activate. The only way that those cards get revealed and activated is when another player plays to the same location. So let's say 2 players committed to the same location in a round. The first player in turn order who goes to that location will become a mole. The next player will pop that mole out and will reveal that card. When a card is revealed at that time, that player's card may trigger that player's ability to do an action. So there's 3 different actions that they can take. Among the 7 different cities in this game, that will change what that action is. It's just an icon that matches to the city. So if we're playing in New York, we'll have different rules than if we're playing in Chicago. But they'll get to do something fun. So sometimes it's you get to move criminals to a different location. Sometimes it's you get to swap cards with another player and choose where you actually put their card. And sometimes it lets you move somebody's influence that they already have on a location. So really kind of tricky. The piece here that's different is that you potentially are setting traps, and it's all about, haha, I want this to be revealed at a particular time in the game, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I very much enjoy that it's all at the same time and that we're all betting, because you're really playing that cat and mouse game, where are they gonna go? And one of the most interesting things I think is the scoring mechanic. It reminds me a lot of Azul. The pinks are gonna be they are worth less, there's more of them, and then it goes down, and I think it's the orange or green, they're worth the least amount, they're worth the most, but there's not as many of them. So I find that very interesting as you try and balance out how many you're going to take at each turn. So, because I've seen people, while we've been playing, by going after the pinks or people going after the high numbers. I've seen people win with both strategies. Player counts. What is this going to be good for? How many people?
Yeah. 3+. Yeah, it's definitely a group game, so you're not going to play it with... I wouldn't play it with 2 players. There is a 2-player mode that adds in a police car that basically moves between locations and reveals a card from their own pre-shuffled deck. So you can play it that way, but since it's adding in a robotic player, usually we tend to avoid those. But I would enjoy it at a higher player count.
Definitely. And I also really enjoy the varied aspect of getting to take out different cities and get that slightly mixes up the game each time. I enjoy that
More than
as well.
slightly. I think it vastly increases
and
the replayability.
And it's a lot harder because we played New York City first. And then, we started, randomly, well, obviously, because we live here, and then we started looking at all the other ones, and they were a lot, really up the game of, the challenges that you would go to.
Yeah, it was you move the criminals between locations. We were, swapping cards with each other. It was pretty crazy.
Where does this rank with, the value of it versus, where do you see, how many times do you see yourself playing this?
Yeah, so I think this is a game that has a lot of replay value because of, you have different locations, and also just because it's so short. It's the kind of game that's really easy to teach, and I need more games that I can remember the rules to and can teach, because the rules are, we actually have it out, so I'll just show you. Because the rules are written on the city card, like that's all I need to remember. Everything else is very rudimentary. So it's easy to remember to be able to teach the game, and those are exactly what fillers should be.
Very fair. So this was published by Dr. Finn's Games and designed by Steve Finn, who is the owner of the company and also a mastermind. We are like designers ourselves, and I am blown away with the amount of games this man comes up with. Like pretty much everything at the top is all by him, and then we have a stack of other ones, and then he is just like, he has this brain, this knack for creating really neat puzzle games.
Yeah, I think this is a really fun one. Kickstarter, where this project is funding, is a great place to support these smaller publishers. I would absolutely recommend supporting publishers like this, playing games like this. It's a great place to help make dreams come true.
Yeah, definitely. We should know. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave links down below on where you can find out more about this Kickstarter and get more information about Dr. Finn's Games. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time.
Happy playing.
Actually, I was going to say this is the first time it adds ambiance to the description.
Okay.
Except now it's too left.
They're here now.
The vents!